Wow.
That was some weird, something you had going on there.
You know what the royalty-free playlist serves, we
What
gladly
do you
accept.
pick? Like, what does it say when you pick stuff?
So I use a service that they have these like where people can put together playlists, or the company itself has these like preordained ones, and they're the safest because the company has put them together. And there's just different categories. There's the dinner time music. I use that sometimes. There's the children's tracks that I use on my own stream. I get lots of complaints about all of them. So it's something you'll have to come to accept. If you want to see all of this delightfulness right here, you just sit through about 5 minutes of bad music.
It's not always bad. Sometimes it's really popping, and then other times I'm here waiting. Like,
Yeah, this one was kind of like, do you like my Carlton dance too?
yeah, it started to get a little weird when like whatever the
The,
person was like
the
started to
lady was
talk.
talking.
Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
I was just like, I'm like, what? Because you never know what
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
nonsense they're gonna say.
Exactly. It's like a nice little bop, and then it's like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's the other reason why I picked this because again, it's like a company has put this together, so there's not going to be anything questionable that comes up in the middle. There's no surprises. So I kind of like that.
Hmm. Well, speaking of surprises, there's already people hanging out in the chat, like my sweetie pie there, 56K connections, who I have a feeling
Mhm.
that those fish emojis are actually really meant to be mudangs. Um, the pygmy hippo in the zoo from what is it, like Vietnam or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure where Mudang is, but I do love Mudang.
Yeah, he is currently obsessed with mudang. And then also we have an LJ, also known as our lovely Dee Marie, which is funny.
Hey, Debray.
We were recently just talking about you and wondering where you'd been because we hadn't seen you in a while. So we're really happy that you're here.
Hello, my friend. Oh, gravy pork. What are you talking about?
He's talking about something we were talking about the other day. Okay,
I see.
we
Okay.
have things to talk about before we get going. The first thing is it is officially time to start this book. So this is going to be your first assignment I'm going to give you. This is going to take us 6 weeks. This is a hefty book. Chapter 1 is like 90 pages. So you best believe we're splitting that sucker up. Um, so for our first discussion, which will be next week on the 15th, which is also my mother's birthday, um,
Okay.
we are going to read the preface through page 31.
Oh, okay.
And that will
I the
be
I thought it was gonna be that's doable. I thought I was like, oh, I better start reading tonight.
oh no, 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 no. I never ever try to do more than 20 to 30 pages of actual reading.
Yeah, I
So,
remember you said, and I had just not looked. You
mhm.
said like chapter one's like 100 pages long or something.
Yeah, it's page 3 to 93. So I'm like, yeah, there's
Yeah.
no, that's not happening. So yeah, you can see I already have it all like, sectioned
Oh,
down here.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Okay.
So yeah, 6 weeks. And then after that, that's going to bring us into like the third week of November or something like that. And Stephanie, well, I realized it, then Stephanie went, oh, um, that's going to be like our 1 year anniversary already. So we're going to plan things for that. And then we've also decided that this is probably going to be our last book for the year. And we'll spend the remaining of November and December doing other things on stream, looking at things, exhibits and quilts and, things like that. And we'll take a break from reading. Yes, 1 year already, Demery.
Can you believe it? I technically just celebrated my Twitch anniversary, but I didn't do anything for it because I was like, I mean, I'd actually
People
been on there
care.
longer. Yeah, but it was like it came and it went, and I kept thinking like, oh, I need to do something for it, and then I just never came up with
And
anything.
then
So
before you realize
we'll
it's
make
the
this sweeter.
next anniversary.
Yeah, it's the 2 years. Yeah, I'll do something for 2 years. But yeah, this will be fun for us to do our 1 year. And I can't believe we've been doing this for a year. Where's the time go? I say that every day.
Seriously, we read like a number of books this year. Like I feel
We really
very
did.
accomplished for
Yeah,
how much we
yeah.
read and things that we've done and stuff like that. Hi, Arlene.
Hey,
Dearie, I'm so
Arlene.
glad that you have always been listening. We really wondered if like something had happened to you. So it's good to know that you were at least lurking, even if you weren't chatting. We
Yeah, I think
noticed.
yeah, I think I saw you lurking over on my stream too. I just hadn't heard from you, so I wanted to make sure you're okay. Um, so yeah, what's the weather like in your neck of the woods?
Today was sunny and like 67.
Oh, it was perfect.
Yes, it was.
Sweater weather's coming.
It was well, if you see, I'm already wearing a sweatshirt because it's like just like a hair chilly. And then let's see, the forecast is sunny or partly sunny, right as it stands right now, from now till next Thursday. And pretty much mid 60s.
Perfect. And you know, I always say this on my stream. The East Coast, particularly the Mid-Atlantic, but I think you get some of this too being up in New England, like you have this very narrow window of perfect weather. It's either too hot, you know, for us especially, so hot and humid, or it's just humid and miserable, or it's rainy and miserable, or it's too cold. And it's just mwah, chef's kiss
No,
right
we
now.
get like 2 weeks in the fall and 2 weeks in the spring, and that's it.
Exactly. Exactly. Same,
And
same, same, same.
and then sometimes in the last few years, it'll be like 70 on Christmas. So
Yeah. I remember some of those when I was a kid too. Yeah, sometimes we just get thrown a curveball and
yeah.
that's the way it is on
Right.
this coast. So,
Mhm.
um, so you want to show off our calendar?
Yes, please. So,
And oh my gosh, DeMarie, that's the weather where you are? And
oh, yes,
I know
thanks.
generally where you are. It's
See,
hotter there.
yeah, that's too hot for me. And once we start creeping over 70, I start to get uncomfortable, especially if I have to be like doing anything.
Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah, I like me a little breeze, cooler. I'd rather, have a scenario where I can wear more clothes and then take them off as you get hot. Like,
Wow.
you've heard me say before, when it's too hot, there's only so many clothes that I can take off before I am politely asked to go home. So, like that is quite a heat wave for October. So
Yeah, it
we
really
had
is.
to do some finagling with the schedule here. Nothing like critical. But we decided for Thursday the 10th that we're actually going to do a dual stream here and with Steph's Cake TV because there's some stuff that we want to look at together. And one of them is an unboxing of a lot of goodies that I bought right before we went to seminar. Sewing tools. Steph has seen them. She can attest to the fact that there is a lot of them. I went hog wild. And I took pictures of everything so that we can show that. And then she'll read some more of the Lady Godey's book, right?
Yes. And I'm so glad that DeMarie bought that up because it has been a fantastic book. I was expecting the Ruth Finley turn of phrase. She's an interesting writer and but it has become so fascinating and like who knew? You know, you hear about your Harriet Beecher Stowe's, your Susan B. Anthony's, your Elizabeth Cady Stantons. But Sarah Josepha Hale was like a real surprise to me. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are not able or do not interested in watching my stream, see if you can get the book. It's not like I think I bought it for, A-books for a few bucks. It's not terribly expensive, but it is super interesting. I
Well, and
highly
that, and
recommend
like
it.
if you wanted like a little intro to what Stephanie does on her streams without having to commit to Twitch yet, come watch here on the 10th and you'll get to see what she does over there. And you'll get a little taste because we're almost gonna do like a half quilt nerding stream, a half cake TV stream, I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
for
And
sure.
then the following week, of course, we have our needlework nights, and then we're traveling to Pennsylvania to do a couple of things. Originally, we had the 20th read it out that we weren't going to do anything. And then we decided that we're going to try to stream from our Airbnb in Pennsylvania. So we figured we'd do that. And we've got some interesting things to look at that we just kind of figured out were easier to do if we were both in the same location. So we're going to do that. And then the other thing I didn't originally have on here is on the 31st, Steph is still going to have her regular stream at 2 p.m. I just hadn't put it on there. So now I have put it on there.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss a Halloween opportunity. I mean, come on.
So these will, I'll replace on Instagram and on Facebook where I have the calendars, and I'll replace them with these. So if you're the kind of person that screenshots or saves these calendars, you will want to grab the new updated version.
Sorry, I'm having a time right now with my screen, and I know that you can't see both of us on here. So sorry, I'm distracted at the moment. Okay. So where were we? I'm sorry.
We are all set with calendar. We can move on. We can move on. So what we're doing tonight is auction reviews. There were recently, like, was it? When was it? Hold on, let me. It was the end of September, I believe. The 28th. There were two auctions going on simultaneously. There was a Dana auction, and then there was another auction by this company, Meander, that did the started auctioning the collection of Virginia Gunn, who is a well-known quilt historian. I did not have the chance to ever personally meet her. You never met her, right, Steph?
No, she is still alive.
Oh, is she? I thought she passed.
Yes.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, she as far from what I know, she's fairly elderly. I think she's got some, she's probably in a memory care situation. She's suffering from some old age.
That's right. It was a living situation. I always feel like I am always confusing people with other people.
Yeah, and like me, I'm always going like, oh, this wonderful, quilt historian or blah blah blah, and they were gone too soon, and then I get an email from somebody. By the way, they're not dead, and I'm like, oh gosh.
So what was interesting is we had our interview last week with the lovely Mary Kay Waldvogel. And after we were done with that, we were yakking for a while, and she had asked both of us, did you guys get anything in those auctions? And we were talking about how I didn't get anything. You didn't win anything. Did you, Steph?
No, I actually didn't bid at all because I was at the folk festival. So
I bid a little bit in Dana's auction, not in the other one. And I didn't win anything. What am I saying? I'm sitting here going, did I? Because you just never know.
All right now. You have to keep track of your auctions and remember what you bid on and what you won.
You know what? Talk to yourself about that. She calls me up a couple of weeks ago and is just like, oh my God, I did something. I'm like, what? She said, well, I accidentally won something in an auction. And I was like, well, how do you accidentally do that? Like, did someone make you bid on something?
Yeah. It's still right here.
Yeah. So, like, someone else seems to have a hard time keeping track of what they're bidding on and where. That's one reason why I don't do the absentee bidding, is because, like, I'd forget and then I'd get a bill for $3,000 or something.
Well, but I mean, that's the thing.
One quilt from 50.
Well, when you do absentee bidding, you never bid more than you're willing to pay, really. And like, I lowball them. I don't expect to get any of them.
Here's the problem with your statement. So
yes, if you lowballed and got like 80 of them, then yes, you got a problem.
This is what I'm saying is that concept of, no more than you're willing to pay. Okay, so let's just say, for argument's sake, let's say I put like $50 and I'm like, there's no way, and I do $50 on like 20 quilts. There is the possibility that you win all 20 of those quilts at $50.
It's such a it is such a slim possibility. And the other thing is like, when you have a budget in mind, you think, hey, out of 10 quilts, maybe I luck out and win like 2 or 3 of them. Well, if they're $50 each, that's $150. And then, you always factor in the premium and all that stuff. That's your budget. That's the thing. Like you do think about the overall, but you also have to play the odds. Like, if you bid on 10 quilts for $50 each in these kind of auctions, you're not getting 10 quilts.
Well, I
You'll be
was
lucky
looking
if you get one. And
just for argument's sake. Like, let's say it's like a somewhat real number.
Yeah.
I could get myself I did get myself into trouble once years ago with antique sewing machines on eBay. And there was one that I was like, there's no way I'm winning this. And then went, oops. And I'd already won like 3 other ones. But you can't like, withdraw a bid once you've like put it in. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'm eating ramen for the next couple of months.
Yeah. It's all how you play the game and all how you allocate your budget and how you just always are trying not to like put yourself into trouble. You don't want credit card debt over your collections and your things.
Well, and that's why I don't do the absentee bidding. I might do it like once or twice if it's something I really love and I can't watch the auction. But generally, live auctions for me is where I say I don't get myself into trouble, but me
going to
remember a big bill from a Maryland auction house.
Yes, me going to an Eastern Shore auction house with like fists full of cash.
Well,
something different.
I wouldn't have bid so much in that auction if you hadn't been willing to go get it, because
the shipping and would have been prohibitive. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. So let's
look at it. And it's back. You know what? I completely forgot last week. I forgot that you were on a cruise in Alaska. You may not have caught up on last week's stream. You were one of the winners of the Mary Kay book plate. So congratulations. If you were not aware, you will be getting something in the mail very soon.
I definitely did inform Janet that she should watch the replay. I don't know if that happened.
Okay.
But I did tell her that her name was mentioned and we were talking crap about her. So it's like, you should go watch that to see all the terrible things we said about you.
All right. Are we ready to look at these auctions?
We are ready, because I didn't even look at all of them.
And I just have not had time. I know you and one of our friends were paying attention to it, and I was not around. And I was just listening to the things you guys said and have not looked at anything since. So,
did you want to play with your screen at all?
Yeah, I think that I still cannot get the thing to work where it'll show both of us for some crazy reason. I'm getting nothing here. So I think that, yeah. So maybe if I do this one and you want to do the other one, that works.
I have, that is fine with me. Okay. So what you got there, Dana?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the other cool thing about the Dana auction was that at the beginning of the auction, she gave Quilt Nerding a really awesome shout out. And
I was so excited.
Yeah, I'm really bummed that I wasn't maybe like recording, because one reason she gave us a shout out was because we had told her when we saw her about improving her lighting on her live stream when she's doing stuff, and she was like, I got new lights and thank you for that, and it was really, really sweet. So if you happen to be watching, Dana, thank you so much for that. We really appreciate it. And there will be links in the description for this past auction if you wanted to go look at it yourself. And also make sure that you get on Dana's mailing list, because she has quote auctions way more often than my wallet is happy about.
Yes. And she also does other types of auctions. She's got one, I think it's vintage and antique fashions coming up. And, she gets some really interesting stuff, like things from, that are really old to things that are, probably more vintage, but cool stuff, So I peek in on those. She does this periodically, and I peek in on those just to see like what she's got, because they're interesting. but I've
Mhm.
never bid on any of those. But then also
Mhm.
she did a toy one not long ago with those Breyer horses.
She did. Oh my God, I had some of those. They were
I
the
don't get the horses, but I don't want to digress into that.
By the way, Janet just asked if you have her mailing address.
I do because you when you entered that
Gotcha.
into the form.
Yeah,
So
whatever you
yeah.
do, Janet, don't put it in the chat.
Yeah. Um yeah, we're all good. It's already on its way to Mary Kay to do her signature. I had to send her the book
Gotcha.
plates. So
Gotcha.
I opened this log cabin
Hmm.
because Dee Marie mentioned it
Hmm.
and it
I'm
is
kind of surprised that um because I'm pretty sure looking at the photos there, it's in pretty good shape, right?
yeah.
Raising compressed. Yeah, so I'm kind of surprised that because look at the estimated, the 6 to 1,200, and it only went for 3. Like
Yeah, like
that's
this
quite a
is one
deal.
of this is a real surprise to me because I mean this is just really pretty. You know,
Hmm.
it's really nice colors and um
Great variety.
is this one Sunshine and Shadows or is this one
It's the barn
I could have
raising.
Barn Raising. Okay.
Hmm.
Because I can never remember which is which and they're all based on one diagonally part of it being light and part of it being dark, but I
Hmm.
can never remember when you and it's
It's
amazing to
it's
me.
it's in the description.
Oh, sorry.
Remember,
Yes,
remember
I'm
that
gonna.
time? Do you remember that time we were reading somebody's book? Was it Dawn's book maybe? And she in the chat was like, "Jill, read the description of the photo."
Right. Yeah. But this one's really pretty. I liked this.
I also really like the first one, the first lot that they had. If you go back, yeah, that one
The New York Beauty.
that went pretty good. I thought that was a pretty strong start. Um, it's so funny. Like I understand all the reasons why you don't do this, but I really do wish that they like released the name of who got it, just so that like if it was one of your friends, you could just be like, hey.
Or you could just be like, hey, you don't know me, but I want to come take a picture of your quilt.
I mean,
I want to come touch your quilt.
yeah, I'm sure that's one of the reasons why they don't do that.
Well,
Because I mean,
exactly.
I have to speak from experience of myself where like people like us, we can be really annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Can I see your quilt? Can you show me that quilt? Hey, I know you're busy, but can I look at that quilt?
yeah, I'm gonna come over next week. Thanks.
This quilt is stunning.
It's
This is a really
amazing.
beautiful quilt.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's like she
And
really
is it
putting this one first, she really came out hard with this one.
mhm. Yeah. And so is this okay, so there is trapunto. I was wondering if it was just because of the denseness of the quilting, but these are they chrysanthemum? Yeah, chrysanthemum motifs.
And then
That's
I
very
I
pretty.
forget what was her estimate on this one.
1,000 to 2,000. So this one beat the estimate.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like having this one first, um, doing so well. And again, one thing to remind people is her buyer's premium is one of the most reasonable ones.
Mhm.
I've seen them.
She's 20%?
She's 18.
18. That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I have seen them now as high as 34%.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, why don't you just make it 50% and we can just pay twice as much as we expect?
And I forget, did I tell you that on one of my AQSG field trips, I sat on the bus next to a gal who
You
works
did.
and she
Yes.
said that buyer's premium is for the whole shebang. Like it doesn't go any lower the more money that you spend. So
Yeah, it's yeah. I just and I'm we've looked at some auctions. What was the last one we looked at that had the shaker goods, and
mhm.
I mean one of those
Yeah,
things sold for
baskets
like
for 25,000.
$2,600 for knitting needles.
Okay,
You
so
know?
wait, let me do the math now that we know for sure. So
Yes,
25,000 times 0.34, that would be $8,500 in buyer's premium alone.
I mean I couldn't afford the buyer's premium.
Yeah, so
Like
that's that basket then. I don't know how much their buyer's premium was, but if it was 34, that basket was 33,500.
yeah, I think the buyers it was definitely more than 20%. I
You
think
know,
it was definitely pushing 30%, and I'm just like, oh my God.
the only thing I didn't ask her is if that buyer's premium is the same for nonprofits, because I wonder if a museum buys it, if it would be the same.
Hmm. How do museums often buy things at auction?
She said they do have museums that buy things.
Oh,
They
okay.
museums used to buy things at auction much more often than they do now.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
they definitely buy art and things, and I could see those shaker baskets going to a museum.
Yeah,
Um,
and that might make sense that the baskets, I mean, I certainly was like shocked at the basket prices, but I think the thing that still just knocked me over with a feather was those knitting needles.
mhm,
I mean, I get it. I understand how rare and the condition, all that stuff, but I'm just like, who has $26,000 for wooden knitting needles? Like, um, an institution does make sense. An institution
mhm,
that's trying to have a complete collection of shaker stuff
mhm.
could make sense. So,
But anywho, let's get back to this really cool quilt. This was
yes,
the George Washington, right?
yes, and this one, I think did it.
This one did really well.
Yes, it went over its estimate as well.
Hmm.
And our friend was a friend of ours was very interested in this, and she was like, "Oh, no, too rich for my blood."
Hmm.
But how charming is this? I mean, this is like the 1930s kind of stuff that is just, we often talk about, or we hear people talk about in the 30s how even though the United States was in a Great Depression, a lot of the things you saw out there in, ladies' magazines and crafting and stuff, making things was very much about like hope or business as usual, kind of,
Hmm.
to keep people from being, I guess, not hit in the face with the fact that things aren't good for them.
Hmm.
Um, and this reminds me of all that kind of stuff. It's just sweet and charming and innocent. You know,
Hmm.
the George Washington cherry tree story is a complete lie, but like who does it hurt?
No, this is definitely something that I would not be upset about if it was in my collection.
Yeah, I thought it was really great. I'll go back to I don't know what is up with if it's I don't know if it's my monitor or my computer or what, but I can never seem to get the thumbnail, and maybe they're not meant to. I don't know. I can never just pick a thumbnail. But yeah, so this is the full thing. All right. I skipped one. I'm kind of
Oh
going
no,
through these like
you don't have to do all of them.
yeah.
Just,
It will
you
take
know,
us forever.
yeah, no, just pick a few because there's
So
quite a lot of things in this auction.
yeah, these friendship quilt, these samplers. I always, the thumbnail, I'm always like drawn in, and these like look so interesting. Um, this 1850 Star of Bethlehem went for $150. Are you kidding me? It
Right?
had to have had condition issues.
But I don't think it had major condition issues. Um, I I'm trying to.
Yeah, okay. So it's got some marks on it of some sort, but that kind of, surface marks, I'm usually not very concerned about. It's the integrity of the fabric that
I
I'm always
love the
concerned.
red.
Yeah.
The
Oh, this
red
is
was insane.
beautiful. Like,
Mhm.
you could not buy this quilt from a quilt maker today. Like, the fabric alone would have cost more than $150. Like, this is crazy.
Exactly.
This is one of those situations where I would have put down, a bit of 150, and I would have been like absolutely shocked that I got it.
Hmm. Yeah, I think
Oh.
I might have bid for that one. I forget. But D Marie was asking about the sampler one.
Okay. Let's see. There's two samplers here. I'm sorry, this one's a Baltimore album. So the sampler is a friendship sampler, and it's from Maryland.
Hmm.
Come on, open
We
up.
had, I think one of our friends was semi interested in that one too.
Ah, okay. Well, it went for way below its estimate, but
Hmm.
yeah, this one's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
It's got some interesting things going on
I'm not unhappy with the price it went for, but like,
here.
um,
Ah, it's got
I'm
it's got ink
surprised.
ink names.
Yeah, I'm surprised it went as low as it did because of the provenance.
Hmm. Oh gosh, I think every single block does have a name in it.
Hmm.
Oh, sister something.
I love the block with the bird and the horse and
The horse. Yeah, those are
yeah.
really sweet. This one's neat. the like vine kind of thing. There's
Mm-hmm.
the one black in here. I was trying to figure out what it is. See, did she get a picture of it? I mean, some of this is like some kind of interesting piecing pattern
Well,
stuff.
if
I
you
don't
get on
know.
the original picture, you can zoom in.
Yeah, this thing right here. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they framed it and
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's meant to be like a little mini quilt.
yeah. Oh, and look at this. Oh my goodness, look at these birds and the border. I'm kind of chintz, but
No, it's great.
right,
I
it's not
knew what
chintz, but like what is that? Like what do you call that?
um
Kind of toile. I mean, it's not really a toile either.
it's got chintzy toile-esque personalities to it.
Yeah. Well, let's see. 1881. I mean, this is like during that the old chinoiserie, you know, the Japanification of the middle class home. They loved the exotic Orient. So maybe that's what
Mhm.
this is kind of a reproduction or a fabric that's supposed to look like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, this one's very cool. Herons. Oh, it does say it's chintz. It says a chintz
Oh,
border.
wow. It doesn't
Okay.
really look like chintz 100%.
Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering because the colors are not, you usually
Yeah.
expect chintz to have like some red in it or that sort
Well,
of,
to be fair, we have definitely not seen all the chintz.
this is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have not. Okay. Let's see. Oh gosh. Ah, my eagle. Okay, we'll just look at this quickly.
Yeah,
But
by all
this
means,
is
look at it. And you know what's
this is
funny?
the
Should we mention what when we were originally kind of like perusing this auction, should we mention the name for this eagle?
yes, yes, because this is a particular type of quilt. It's the Pennsylvania eagle. The eagle itself has a particular look to it, and we've christened these lovely eagles the fluffy butt eagles or the big
Fluffy
butt
butt.
eagles.
Dude, it's the big booty eagle. Like you're trying to be all like PG about it. Like,
It is the big booty slash fluffy butt eagle. I like to call him fluffy butt because it's like just a
no, in my
big,
head, I'm just
big
thinking
pom
big
pom on his
booty
rear.
eagle. Big booty eagle.
I like big eagle butts, and I cannot lie. It doesn't work. It doesn't really work, but I try. But yeah, it's called the Pennsylvania Eagle, and it was funny. My eagle right here, um, our friend that's a Pennsylvania expert was looking at my quilt and saying, I don't know if I can. I don't want to pull on it and knock it over, but my eagle is based on these eagles.
Okay.
And she said something and it was kind of like, well, is it really Pennsylvania? You really think it is? And then I started looking at this and I did a little bit of research and I'm like, yeah, it is. It definitely is. Anyway, this was just something that got made a lot in Pennsylvania. And the centerpiece, this one kind of looks like gears or something, but
Mhm.
that centerpiece is often thought of as like a depending on what it looks like, it's like a hex sign, like you see hung
Okay.
on barns
Okay.
in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. So that's yeah, and it's there's one of these in the Philadelphia Museum of Art. So
Now, is the eagle holding a leaf? It
this
looks
one,
like a
yes, it
maple
looks
leaf.
like a maple leaf. He might have been Canadian. I don't know. um, but these fabrics, I mean, look at these fabrics.
Well, that and
These
this
are
this quilt went for a good price too.
yeah, these are like those Ely Walker fabrics that another one of our friends and I have been like eyeballing.
Dee Marie got good
Oh,
mail today. She got Liberty fabrics.
Liberty. Jealous. Love some Liberty. Um,
Some really nice quilting on there.
yeah, here's the eagle. I kept looking for like, is there a close up of just the eagle?
Big
Um,
booty eagle.
but the little fringes on the bottom of the wings, that's like a dog tooth kind of thing, I think. They're kind of snipped them and
Mm-hmm.
folded them in. Like that's the way mine look.
So I
Um,
see pencil line quilting on there. So they might not have ever washed.
mhm.
Probably never washed. He's so like his eyes are just kind of like, huh! Like someone caught him. Like Like
Yeah.
stealing the leaf from something.
Yeah, mine's got a weird eye down, like it's practically on its beak. It also has a comb. Like, but yeah, this quilt, I knew it was in here. I was like, I know it's gonna be too much, too rich for my blood. I wasn't even gonna try, but yeah, it went for what it was expected to.
Well, and this is one of those scenarios where you really want to know who got it, so you can be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be your best friend. Okay, thanks. Hi." Like,
Please remember me in your will, and in the meantime, can I come take a picture of it? And can I touch it? Can I touch it? Can I see it? Can I see that quilt? Can I be photographed standing next to it? Um, oh my gosh, what is this? That sold for $50. Oh, here's one who sold for 45. Oh my goodness. This is a kid quilt. Let's look
yeah,
at it real quick.
you kind of missed out, sweetheart.
Good Lord, I sure did. Now, okay. I will say, there's obviously a significant amount of quilting in this, but I have to say these, even though they're kits, and I'm fascinated with kits, these
Mm-hmm.
kind of don't do much for me
Mm-hmm.
because they're pretty, but they're not
No,
that
I mean, I
interesting.
agree. I wasn't altogether super interested.
But $45, I mean, and it looks like it's in really great condition. You can't even buy
Mm-hmm.
a cruddy blanket, a cruddy polyester blanket for that. So this is the water lily pad. Oh, okay. I've seen this design. Oh, yeah. I want to say, was it you? I might have bought a top, an embroidered top from you that I think has a similar lily pad embroidery on one of the blocks.
Maybe.
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Well, somebody got a good deal.
Yeah, I was
Oh
really
no.
hoping. What did you do?
I hit the back button too many times.
You're
Okay.
fired. I was really like hoping to snag a star quilt because there's quite a few star quilts in this auction. I did not snag any.
I gotta look at this one real quick. Oh, look at that pineapple.
Yeah, that one's very cool.
All those little tiny little zigzaggy little jaggedy edges. Oh,
But like lot 27, um, I'm
that
shocked.
that
Like,
one went way over too. Okay, let
no, lot
27.
27 did not go way over.
No, no, I'm talking about the pineapple went way
Oh
over.
yeah, no, the pineapple, of course.
So, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
This one went another way.
I am
I
shocked that
mean,
that one didn't go for a lot more.
yeah. Yeah. And this one's even more, I mean, this is a broken star, right? So it's even
Mm-hmm.
more complex than just the
Mm-hmm.
plain star.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Ah, there's a Sue. I think I knew that there was a Sue in this one.
Isn't there a Sue
Wow.
in like everyone?
I think so. Something Sue-esque. 1850 Princess Feather Quilt, $190. What?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, for some of the things in here, I feel like the age didn't necessarily matter so much to whoever the audience was
Yeah.
that day.
Wow. And this is, I mean, let's see, let's look at some of the pictures up closer. I don't know, I guess is it faded?
I don't
Yeah, I mean,
remember.
it looks like it's definitely been used. The stitching on it is interesting. Huh. Well, hmm. I like princess feathers. I think they're interesting.
I do too. I don't have a single one in my collection.
Well, yeah, because usually they're they're super pricey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. Okay, a lot of these are quilt tops too. And a damask bedspread for $15.
Yes, I
Um,
remembered that one being rather crickety.
People are like, we got here for the quilts. I don't want to see a bedspread. Um, okay, here's another star, 400.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at this everlasting tree quilt for 100. It looks like it's got some condition issues though. Um, yeah, it's like a bleach maybe. But this is kind of like, it's a very plain looking pattern, but like when
Hmm.
you get up close and you see there is a lot of work that goes into making one of these. You
Sure.
know, you've got all of these little tiny strips of half square triangles,
Hmm.
you know, and you got to turn them the right way. And I have seen this quilt where somebody missed turning them the right way. In fact, yeah, this one they have them, they're not turned the right way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe my eyes are
Yeah.
kind of
It's
playing
like,
tricks on me.
okay. Yeah. So if you look at, let me see if I can get it to go
It
bigger.
looks like it's more than one, like a couple of
Yeah. So
stripes.
the
Yeah.
first stripe, one's up and one's down. The
Hmm.
next stripe, they're both up. The next stripe, they're both up. Then you have up, or I'm sorry, up and down again. And then the last stripe are both down. So yeah. And you don't see that right away until you really stop and look
No,
at
I
it.
wouldn't have noticed until you were a turd and was like, "Look, they screwed it."
But that to me, that makes it more charming. Like that, I look for stuff like that
Oh no,
because,
totally.
you know, it's
I wouldn't have been
it's
able to
just
tell though, just because like with all those triangles, my eyes kind of play tricks on me.
yes. Yeah.
Like I'm like almost
Yeah,
like
you know,
a looking at like a magic eye.
yeah, a lot of these prices are just not what I expected. Um, I do feel like that I think that I feel like auctioneers often will front load, and I think that Dana does this. She kind of front loads with that, you know, the some of the like the real showstoppers,
Hmm.
to kind of get the energy going. You know, and then things might taper off a little bit in the middle.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, oh my gosh, here's a courthouse steps. $90, 1880. I mean, come on, y'all. These quilts are these quilts are real old. This one does have some condition issues, I think, but that's pretty. That's very pretty. Hmm. Okay. Or is there anything that you're remembering,
In
especially?
in particular, no. I had never looked through the whole thing. Because I poop out at like 3 hours. Like
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how
Same.
I don't know how she does this for like 6 hours straight because like man do I poop out. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
that crazy quote was very interesting.
Oh, look, there's a letter with it too. I
Mm-hmm.
guess that gets into, looks like it's had some repairs.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that must be what that's about. Okay. Scrolling through here real quick. This lyre quilt, I remember seeing that and thinking like the colors were so odd.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, is this like is this a fabric print or like what is this? Hold on. Uh, no, they're appliques. Wow, I didn't expect that.
Mm-hmm.
I never went past the thumbnail of this one. Um, when I previewed it before the 28th. Oh, it's got some provenance too. Oh, what's this? Oh, Gosh and Happen historians.
Mm-hmm.
We know about them.
Yeah.
Interesting. Quilt Roundup. You guys and all your happy mail days. I love a happy mail day. I like to get something that's, I don't even get bills anymore, hardly. You know, I do all the online paperless stuff. It's like the only thing
Are
that comes.
bills ever a happy day?
No, I'm just saying, like going to the mailbox and there being anything other than like right now I'm getting all the election flyers and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd rather an empty mailbox than election flyers. I have to, you know, well, I've been throwing them in recycling, but
I feel like anytime
um,
you get all kinds of advertising, it's like they're just saying like, here, you throw this out.
yeah, exactly. Oh, here's another everlasting tree. I went for a little bit more.
There's lot 74 is a signature quilt from New Jersey with it went for 3 grand.
Uh, oh, okay. I've skipped farther than that. Um, bars,
No,
embroidered.
lot 64.
Yeah, no, I'm looking to see what is that. I was like,
Oh.
bars? I wonder what that means. So 64, that'll be in the
Janet
um,
says election flyers feed my English paper piecing templates.
ah, yes, that is a good use one. You said 64?
Mm-hmm.
tobacco leaf quilt.
Lot 64?
And yeah, lot 64.
No, what the
I mean,
hell was I looking at?
we're not looking at the same lot
No,
64.
no, no, maybe scroll down again. I must have been looking at something weird. Is the signature quilt right
Yes.
there?
74.
74.
Oh, $3,000. Yes.
Yeah.
This has got, oh my goodness. This is not just a signature, but like a lot of stuff written on here. Oh yeah. We've got dates and names, and there's the picture of it. Um, was it a feathered star? Yeah, I guess that's what that would be considered, right? Or is it still
Yeah,
a feathered star if it's
it's
just a little tiny? Oh,
it's
yes, it says it in.
yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of feathered. Yeah, never mind, that pesky uh
Description.
description. Yeah. Like why can't I find words?
It's, the struggle is real. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the other one, but real quick, I just want to look because the end is when she often will have like the feed sacks and yep.
Mm-hmm.
Feed sacks are still going for lots of moolah. Yep, these are scraps and went for $225. This must have been somebody's collection or somebody's stash or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And I
It's
mean,
really
those
interesting.
didn't seem to go for too bad.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, it does. It seems like these smaller things did. Yeah, I mean, these smaller things seem to be
I mean,
pretty
there's a
reasonable
lot that went
prices.
for 275.
Hmm.
Quite a few of them went in like the 200s.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, let us switch over to Meander, which is the Virginia Gunn. Um,
Now, this auction started out with like other stuff, so just like
yeah, it's not
yeah.
all quilts.
Mm-hmm.
So now was all of it Virginia Gunn or
No, no,
is it a
it
mix?
had other
Okay.
stuff in there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was probably a mix. So yeah, Virginia Gunn collection with additions, like a whole
Mm-hmm.
bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's a tabletop Swift,
Mm-hmm.
$75. That's, I mean, for an antique Swift, that's pretty good. Uh, I have a Swift that probably cost nearly that much and it's new and it's not very good.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, this was maybe 10 or 15 years ago. This wasn't recent. Um, all right.
there you
Where's
go.
them quilts? Okay, here we go.
Now, what's very interesting is that a lot of these super undersold. Look at that. 4 quilts for $85.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, I didn't do like big time like I don't know if any of those have like condition issues or something like that. Minor toning somewhere, a few holes and stains. Yeah, 23% buyer's premium, which
Yeah. Well,
still
I mean,
isn't that insane, but
right. Yeah.
like we've seen far
Oh,
worse.
wait, were there oh shoot, I didn't even look. I was like, what are the other quilts? Yeah, okay. So they had okay pictures.
Yeah, I have to say those pictures leave a lot to be desired.
Yeah, Dana's pictures are much better.
Mm-hmm.
But also Dana kind of specializes in
Sure, sure, sure. But I mean, come on, if you're an auction house, you should know how to photograph what you got. Yeah,
this
two.
is
I
I
mean,
love
yeah.
what do you call this?
Isn't it
The
like a
nosegay
bouquet?
or the okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
I like that. And then what was this other one? Oh, it's a double wedding ring. Okay. Oh, look at that nice big, probably a pea stain. Um,
Why is it always a pea stain? Like I just tell myself it's apple juice.
well, a quilt this age, it's a good chance somebody was not drinking apple juice over it.
So you think it's more
Um,
likely that they peed on it rather than that other person who thinks that everything is covered in horse blood?
Yes. I was telling somebody about that recently. I was like, I don't know the whole story. I can't remember the whole story, but Jill said there's some historian who is certain that every blood spot on a quilt is like is horse blood. Like,
Every single dark, like really dark, like the copper
oh,
colored stains
mm,
are, yeah, horse blood.
yeah. So this one is really pretty, but this one,
I
like the
like the border.
condition is so bad.
Oh yeah,
Like
it's bad.
there's a lot of this is the foundations showing. But
Yeah,
yes, this is
the
so
silk is like
interesting.
gone.
Yeah, this is such an interesting like edge treatment here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
Um,
really like if you go down just a little bit. I was gonna say you don't have to stop on every quilt, love. The lot. Whoa. Go back. Lot 105. I
oh,
really
okay.
like that one.
Yeah.
I tried for that one. Um, and one thing that I really love. Oh my God, that's cute.
Got
I
a little
totally forgot about.
patch. Aw.
One thing I love about it, if you go back to the full shot,
Oh, there's grapes.
mm-hmm.
See, does that? Yeah. Okay.
So the no, don't zoom in, zoom out. The corner on the border treatment there is not even. There's see like where the corner is, there's three that have a perfect piece in the corner, and then on the right upper corner that didn't quite fit. And there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
two,
It's
and I
off.
love it.
Yeah. It's off there. Yes, exactly. That's the stuff I love about quilts.
Yeah,
When
I
they're
love it.
perfect, it's like, yeah, I mean, of course, the stitching and, the perfect piecing or the perfect applique is all fantastic, but in this day and age, like so much stuff is machine made that can look like that. So I really loved. I saw this hooked rug when I scrolled
Mm-hmm.
through, when they first put the catalog up. I
Yep.
thought, how cute. I bet that's going to go for a lot of money. But it went for below what the estimate was.
Mm-hmm. I was surprised how quite a few things on here
Yeah,
went so.
honestly, I am like as I'm scrolling through, I know we're not going to look at any of this stuff, but looks like nothing went for their estimate. Like everything went below their
I
estimates.
think
Like,
there might have been a couple of things that went really high, but
mhm.
this is another one where I don't I don't really watch live because this is one of those ones where
Like nobody bought this.
nope. It's one of those ones where it's like fully automated. So the bidding process happens really quickly and
Mhm.
sometimes it's under a minute per lot
Yeah.
because it goes so
Hmm.
fast. So sometimes I don't watch those just because it's almost like they make me nauseous, like car sickness because they just everything just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. And those are the auctions that I typically like. I haven't been bidding at auctions lately other than like Dana. But I do pre-bids on those, and there's a lot of action in the pre-bids. And those are like on high bid. That's kind of it's almost a different arena than these kind of auctions. Live auctioneers, I feel like is a little bit like it's supposed to be higher end, seems
Mm-hmm.
like.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Dee Marie just asked, do either
yeah.
of you watch a stream once you broadcast? I do sometimes. I'll go back and look at stuff. Are you
Jill
asking for
does.
a particular reason?
I do not.
Um,
So,
those brown ones up at the top there, those went pretty well, didn't they? Oh no, never mind.
um, that one didn't.
The 475
Um,
one
but this,
usually.
yeah, some of these. So I know that this is only a portion of her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
so
wasn't necessarily the best of her collection.
right, exactly. That's what I think I heard someone mention was that kind of the lesser things like the not showstoppers would be going first. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Although some of these red and whites are really pretty, or that.
oh my gosh, look at this. Oh,
Mhm.
holy Moses, look at how small this stuff is for it to look like that.
So DeMarie said, just wondering if it's a general practice to polish for future deliveries. Because it's all live and it's not scripted, there really kind of isn't a polishing scenario other than the fact of tweaking certain things like having like a starting soon screen, um, or
Yeah.
maybe the way we want to like pull stuff up onto the screen. Oh, I forgot this one had some stars too in it. And look, like
Look
they
at
didn't go for a lot
this.
of money. That one's cool.
This one reminds me so much of our friend Amy's work.
Yeah, Amy Past's work. Yep.
Yeah, because look, they've used um plaids, and she does that. She uses stripes a lot to get
Hmm.
that look. This is really cool. $65. Oh
And
my
look,
God.
there were 16 bidders watching it.
And it's 18, probably 1880s, 1890s.
And it's
Wow.
$65.
And it's not like this was a secret in our community. I heard lots of people talking about this auction.
No, I really like these, you were just talking about like the princess feather and what, like, look at how low some of that went.
Well, this one went for way over, and this one went for way under. It's got to be
That's what I
condition.
mean. It was one of those days. I'm telling you, I was really upset that you were not available for consultation.
So we could look at this and be like, what is going on?
Yeah, because I'm literally like sitting, because I parked my butt and I watched Dana's auction, and then I had, thank God they weren't like both live broadcasts, because there's no way I could have kept up with the auction call
Yeah,
on both sides.
no.
But yeah, I had like both of them up, and I'm trying to watch, and I'm literally sitting here like, and I had no one to kibitz with.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at these two and see like, okay, the brown and gold one has like it looked like it had some staining, but I literally don't. I mean, and just I mean, there's fabric loss in this one. That's
Sure.
why I
But
see.
the thing is with appliques, fabric loss is far more forgiven than in something pieced.
Hmm. Yeah, because it's usually not structural, but yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, maybe that's it. Like this, just that collector already had a pink and green one that's better than this one, I guess.
Well, I guess considering that nothing was purchased in either of these auctions, it's saving money for the next ones. Dana isn't having another quilt auction till
Ooh, this one's
2025.
interesting.
I think she said January, right? Yeah, this quilt's cool.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact.
This one went for
Yeah.
an acceptable price, but
Yeah, what did I see? 300?
300.
Yeah.
But it's unusual to me, like that it didn't go for a little more because it's unusual.
Yes, exactly. It is an unusual quilt. And
But
to me this
also,
looks kind of like a self-drafted
mhm.
kind of thing.
But also this auction has a 23%, right? Buyer's
Hmm.
premium. I like the blues, the white and blue.
These.
Yeah, like I tried to go after that star one. Um, but it was more than I mean 500 when they only thought $100 to $200 for that one.
Huh. See, and to me that it seems to me that perhaps this auction house maybe is not as in touch with quilt pricing.
Mhm.
And that may be what we're seeing. And then like, without going into each of these and deeply looking at all the pictures, there may be
Mhm.
condition issues that we're
And then this one,
having.
this 271, that one's very interesting as well. The color
Oh yeah.
and the fact that it has a teeny tiny little cutout at the bottom.
Yeah. It only has like a little hang. It's like
Yeah. It's just a little,
little tiny.
but yeah, I thought that was very, very cute. What did
Oh,
they have a date
fabric.
on that?
Let's see.
That fabric is very interesting.
Third quarter 19th century.
Oh, cotton and velvet. Okay.
Oh,
I thought that flower
oh,
was
velvet.
velvety.
Okay, so the brown is the velvet, printed brown velvet and yellow with, oh, interesting. Hmm,
Yeah, there was one of the photos you went on that looked very velvety. But yeah,
gotcha.
look at that. 269 sold for $100.
269.
Yeah, you were just on it.
$100 for floral applique. Hmm.
And then the
Yeah.
one 270, I mean, obviously it sold for a little more acceptable price. I thought that would have gone for even more because the border is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, gosh, I'm sad now. I maybe
Yeah,
could
you
have
should
found something,
be.
but
This is what happens when you go out and do things with your life.
I
I
don't just sit at
really,
my computer all day looking at auctions.
I really
Um,
like actually this whole line,
oh, this one's really
285
fun.
to 288, all of them are really cool.
Yeah, these are.
And look, one of them actually went for 1,200, the 285. And then
Oh, yes. Yes.
the other one went for 288, one for 1,700.
Yeah, this one's got signatures.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look at this one. Looks very.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, look at all that
Is
beautiful
there
applique.
like ridiculous quilting in all that white space?
Let's find out. Um,
Oh yeah, there
yeah,
is.
I mean
Yeah, there is.
it's
You can
pretty
see
good.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good amount of quilting.
It
Yeah.
says it's dated too. Does it say where it's dated? Oh, 1851.
To 1853. So stitched or
Oh,
needed.
it's
Okay.
got a lot of dates.
Oh, okay. So they're stitched in.
And it was
Interesting.
purchased on eBay in 2000. So this one
That's
has the
interesting.
provenance.
Yeah, that's got some provenance there. Hmm. Um,
Yeah, do that
okay.
one. No,
This
do it.
one?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at that.
This one
Oh,
gives
wow.
me lots of Christmas vibes.
It does, but also like I don't know. There's something a little bit less Christmassy about this, and I think it's probably the background is either an off-white or it's sturdy, or you know what I mean. It's like when
Or
fabric
both.
gets that, yeah. Um, wow. Look at that. Huh. Yeah, that one is really cool. And these little stems. Oh, and I see they're kind of popping out of.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting. Do you recognize the shape?
Or recognize the shape.
No, I'm sorry, you wouldn't because you didn't do any of your Merryweather wax blocks.
Nope. So it's a Merriweather Waxel type shape.
Yeah, there is definitely absolutely a shape like that in the Merryweather wax stuff. So I'm wondering if that's is it supposed to be like some sort of like it's mimicking some kind of ornate like frame or
Hmm.
hmm, one never knows.
DeMarie said the red leaves have sort of a hemp shape.
Oh, yep. Hemp. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at that. See, I love crazy quilts that are like super weird.
Far
I have some
away,
of those.
like that thumbnail picture, it almost looked like constellations.
Yeah, it's really visually striking
Mm-hmm.
what they've done here.
So needless to say, you would have been in some trouble at this auction because
Oh
the
yeah,
prices
it
went
is a
low.
really good thing that I did not get to see this live. Oh, but look at all of these letters and oh, this is
Mm-hmm.
so cool. Man, I'm kind of bummed I didn't get a crack at this one.
Yeah, I mean, you should be. You abandoned me to do things with. I really like that star one, 291.
Yeah, it only went for 170. What?
No, that's not the one I was talking about.
Oh, but this is very pretty. Although I
It
see
has a
there's a
lot
lot
of
of fabric
condition
loss.
issues.
Yeah, but it's pretty though. The
Sure.
fabrics and things, the way they put them together. Okay, so what were you wanting to look at?
The one next to it, 291.
This. You and I have a different taste. Because I'm like, nah, it's
But
very
I like all
muted.
these stars.
Yeah, I see though what
Oh, look
your
at that
is
blue fabric.
did you bid on this one? Were you after this one?
I
Or no?
think I did. I think I did. But I didn't, I mean, I didn't get anything. That blue fabric though. Yum. Thank God we have different taste.
Yes, we are never bidding against each other. Ever.
Um,
Like I don't think there's ever been anything that has there.
well, I mean, there's been scenarios where you've stolen things that I've bid on after I've won them. But luckily, when I'm shopping for my personal collection, we're generally not bidding against each other.
Correct. All right, all these coverlets.
Hmm.
I have two coverlets
I don't
and
have
I need to
any.
look at them and see like what condition they're in. One is like a pink and brown and one is like a brown and cream color. Um
I like coverlets visually. I
yes,
don't really
to
get
be
into
have
them.
to have
Yeah,
they are so
tactily, I don't
scritchy
like
scratch.
them at all.
They're so scritchy scratchy. Oh, they're the worst.
Kate
But
asked, how do you get them if you are the highest bid? Do you have them shipped? Yes, you usually have to check with an auction house first to see if they do shipping. But these ones here that we're talking about, they do. Like Dana does a flat rate, like $30, and then like each additional quilt is $5 or something. Very reasonable. Some of them, oh, there's a quilt hiding.
I was gonna say, I love it when they'll just throw a random quilt in the
Yeah.
middle.
Some of them, like overseas, sometimes won't ship, but most of them do at this point.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
that's really cute.
there's one in the UK, I think, that doesn't, but the other major ones that you and I know people that buy from them they definitely
Mm-hmm.
ship.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that 363 is really pretty.
Yeah, I was just saying that. North Lima, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
1855.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, visually they're gorgeous, but I don't really get into
Mhm.
them because tactily I can't stand the way they feel.
Yeah. I would say though, I mean, for their purpose, if you would, you don't have heat in your house and this is what you have to put, you obviously would not put this on top of your body. You would put
Right,
other
right.
things between that and your body, but it would definitely keep you warm.
Oh no, I would probably
Oh,
love sleeping under one because I like
yeah.
a lot of weight on me when I
And
sleep.
that little eagle. So this
Um,
eagle, I've been looking at this other eagle quilt,
this
and
eagle has dislocated hips.
yes, there is this other eagle that when you hear the term spread eagle, like most of the time, like this quilt, yeah, he's got his legs out, like whatever. There is a quilt, and it's in one of the museums, I think, but I saw it went up for auction at some point, and it is in one of the books. It's a very striking, distinctive eagle. It looks a lot like this, and its legs look like they look like chicken drumsticks, like splayed to the side, and then they have these weird feet. It is the strangest looking thing. It is so wild. I want to like make my own version of it, and this is what that reminds me of.
That definitely is not a big booty eagle.
That
That's
is
a
the
that's a little booty eagle.
that is the Elaine Dance Eagle. It's going. You have to be a Seinfeld fan to get that. Um. Oh, okay. So then I forgot about this. This got into some clothing, which was
Hmm.
really cool stuff.
Oh
Um.
yeah, that little lot there, 417 with the three child's dresses on it.
Mhm.
Cute. Oh, D. Marie
Yeah.
said maybe that eagle was more like a chicken hawk.
Ah, could be, but no, the what I'm talking about, the quilt, I'll have to show it. I'll show it off on my stream coming up. It's definitely an eagle. It's definitely supposed to be an eagle because it's got the arrows, it's got the olive branch, it's got stars around, like it's totally an eagle. It's like Sunbonnet Sue's, there's a ton of them out there and people would draw them. They would be so dang weird.
Oh, I think 425, that printed cotton dress,
Mhm.
425. I think I know who bought that
Ooh.
because I feel like they posted on social media
Mm.
about buying it. That is gotta show the
It's
pit
got
stains.
just a little pit stain. But what a beautiful dress. It
It's
has another
really.
stain there too, I think. But yeah, this kind of stuff in like really good shape is
Hmm.
very rare. So, that stuff. This I looked, this stood out to me because it looks like it's detachable sleeves.
Yep. To go from afternoon to evening wear.
Yes. Or from summer to fall.
Hmm.
That fabric is very pretty too.
I feel like we don't make our clothes versatile enough like that.
I agree. So I'm wondering if this stuff was also Virginia Gunn's collection or
I
not.
I think it might have been, wow,
Yeah.
437 there is really pretty.
Yeah, I was just glanced at that. So this era, it's 1850s. So like 1850s, 1860s, you had these bell-shaped sleeves or lantern sleeves. Um, and they're not like going to be like fingertip, like the way you see like the hippie kind of
Hmm.
flowy bell sleeves now. They're bell sleeves to like mid, three-quarter length. And I just think I don't know what it is about them. They are so elegant, and then they do stuff like have you know, um, these beautiful curved sleeves and things. And I mean, like
Hmm.
this has got this, I can't remember what this is called. It's if when you open it, there's not really a vest under there.
Oh,
It's
it's like
called
a
like a
faux, it's like a faux thing.
yeah, it when it's I think when it's up top, it's a plastron, or it might be the whole thing could be considered a plastron. That's what it's called. And but yeah, they would do these really elaborate things to make it look like there's layers and layers, and there's not really.
This particular
Um,
garment right here, it just reminds me of a costume worn on the show. Have you seen the show Victoria with Jenna Coleman?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I couldn't really get into it, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh my God, I don't think we can be friends anymore. That show
Fine.
is so good.
Yeah. This just looks like just kind of gossamer. Like it reminds me of like a moth, a beautiful moth.
Hmm.
Hmm. Undergarments. Bonnets. Look at those bonnets.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
look at these shoes.
I do
Oh my gosh.
remember.
Two pairs of what I'm guessing are Victoria. No, 1839
Wow.
for $55.
Would you have bought those if you were watching?
I might have bid on these.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very small shoe collection of different shoe related things. I have my shoe pin cushions, but I also have some antique shoe type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, oh yeah, I totally would have gone for these. If I saw that like going once, going twice, and like nobody's buying them, heck yeah. $55. Oh
Yeah, you would
my.
have been in trouble.
Look at these little flowers. Oh, well, okay. Postmortem daguerreotypes. Yeah. That stuff is very cool, but I don't want to spend any time on it.
Yeah,
I
I
know, Lord,
believe
this
there's
lady.
there's a lot of
Okay,
them.
but I'm gonna have to stop this poor lady. I mean, if you looked like that, would you want your portrait done? I would be like, okay, you're not gonna take a picture of me because I'm not gonna sit still that long because it's 18, whatever. But you can draw me, you can paint me and make me look like you can put beauty face, zoom beauty face on me. No, I'm gonna just paint you the way you look. Poor lady. It's a pretty little thing that it's in, but my God, she's
Oh, so
homely.
that's what so that should be like a meme or something with that is like when the frame is prettier than you are kind of thing.
Yes. Oh.
I feel like too if you're gonna be drawn, I'm like that's the time to put
To
in
exaggerate. Yes,
yeah.
because and I mean when back at a time when photography, like not everybody got a chance to be photographed, and I guess really before the Civil War, photography was very limited. Um, yeah, I mean, you're just like you think of all of the upper crust people that had their portraits painted, and they didn't look like that. And the really famous paintings of royalty and stuff, they have often been able to see the original painting
Hmm.
behind the version that we see, and they were painted uglier. And that the patron said, no, my wife does not look like that. As a matter of fact, make her look like she really looks, wink wink.
Hmm.
So it looks like we've reached the end of the quilts, I'm pretty sure, because I'm only finding photographs now. Oh,
Oh,
let's some wait. Okay, textile items.
the
Oh, I do
yo-yo
remember
stuff.
this yo-yo stuff. Oh, wow. That was a lot of yo-yo stuff too, wasn't it? Oh, wow. Those were some cute things.
Look, honey, $35.
I know.
You missed out.
I sure did. Well, I'll be at the next one. Of course, the next one everybody's found out about. Um, oh my goodness. Yeah, look. Look at this stuff. This was good stuff.
Flame
Flames.
stitch suspenders.
Oh my
That's cool.
goodness.
And you know they went for
Yeah.
120 because they're flame stitch.
Hmm. And they're not in great condition. There's loss.
That is really cool. I
Those are
didn't
pretty
notice
neat.
those.
Now, does it give a date? Let's see, 19th century. So, but I would say I would put those early 19th century, right? Because this kind of stuff was popular in the late 18th century, wasn't it? That flame stitch stuff. I
I
don't know.
am not the authority. One of our friends that's probably lurking knows a lot more about flame stitch than I do. So maybe three
Uh,
needlework items.
show towels. Ah, okay. I have to show this because I do remember we talked to Anne about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our friend Barb, we may have conversed with her about it. And I saw these at somebody's house and I was like, what in the heck is a show towel? And this is what they are. And they're long. And I guess it's because of I don't know how they're displayed or something. But this is the part I did not quite understand about them. You've got this fancy needlework up here, and then you've kind of got a towel. So
Is it like because they're long? Is it like, look how much fabric it's white that I can
well,
clean?
see, the thing is though, like I saw some, and I might have been right when we talked to Anne about this kind of stuff when we were reading her book, and it was there were things that had they were stitching all the way down. So it was almost like a sampler, like the whole
Oh,
thing.
okay, okay.
And to me,
So
I'm
maybe
like, oh
this
yeah,
is
that's
unfinished.
I don't know. Or maybe they were intended to be like dry
Well,
your hands off.
I
Because
mean,
I feel like it's the
they
kind
went
of
for decent money.
yeah, I mean, these are the kind of thing that are like you know, for show, like just like your
Hmm.
fancy
Just for
guest
pretty.
bedroom towels. Yeah,
Oh,
your
and then you
fancy
got some
guest bedroom
sampler
towels.
things here.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Did
Lot
anybody
passed.
catch what? Nobody got this one. I remember looking at this too. These aren't that old though, are they? That's not.
Well, the one in the
These might
back
be.
there says 1860 something.
Oh yeah, 1864. Huh. What on earth? And that one's pretty, although who knows what they're covering up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can find that one. That they are very pretty. Oh my gosh. So this one will be in the next auction, and you'll go and you'll be like,
Presumably.
yeah, I'm gonna get it. Nobody wanted it last time, and it'll go for like $1,000. That's a neat looking needle point piece.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would have wanted to have stitched all of that cream color myself, but
And then I'm wondering if that like bigger one, the biggest one in there, like could that be like a repro or something? Go down to the description. What does that say?
the ribbons look old though. That's what
Mm-hmm.
let's see.
Mm.
Includes in 1865, undated 19th century, colonial revival. Okay, so colonial revival, which one is that? 14 by 11. So this one, yes, that's the biggest one, right? 21 by
Mm-hmm.
17, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sampler. So this is probably from the 70s
Mm-hmm.
or the 20s.
Mm. Hmm.
Which colonial revival, friends? Which one? Only quilters that get that. Okay,
Well,
so here's
look
some
at
more
that.
stuff.
Look at 545. 3 pieces of textile related ephemera.
Oh, yeah, this is your new thing, right? Like getting into this ephemera. What? Oh, are they sample? Are they like
Those
sample
look like
books?
samples.
What's this? Let me go into
Ooh.
the. Looks like swatches. Yeah, and like, is that a swatch
Yeah.
book?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, oh, how cool. These are like sketches. And
Hmm.
then
What does
this
the
is the little
description
book.
say?
Oh, look at the little book. Look at it.
Oh,
Dang them. They don't have it. I'll say
it sold
$500.
for
So
500. What's the
yeah,
description?
again, I go back to the fact these people didn't know how to properly estimate this stuff.
Includes a date. Oh,
1856,
oh my
made
God,
and used by Sarah
Northampton,
Strong. So
Massachusetts.
that's not too far from you, I'm assuming.
It's north. No, wait, Northampton. No, I'm sorry, that's Western Mass.
Oh, okay. 1828 French fabric sample swatch collection and a sample book.
Hmm.
It's a
That
cool.
is very
That's a pretty cool
interesting.
like yeah, that's a pretty cool lot. I wanted to look at this one. These are the lots I love, because
Hmm.
half of it'll be just complete garbage. It's like they just piled some stuff together because they wanted to get rid of it or they didn't know what to do
I
with it.
I got one of those lots once. It's in the
But
closet here.
inevitably there will be something really cool in there. Um,
Well,
so like
that
whatever.
little like doll dress is really cute.
Yeah, it looks like it's got like some damage, but like this old quilt patterns.
Hmm.
Um, this
I
thing.
I would have spent $25 on it.
Oh yeah, I totally would have. Um, yeah, I mean this stuff is
There's like a
kind of a
random paper piece quilt block on the left there.
yeah. Huck towel patterns.
And then there's a
Yeah, I
little
mean that's like
basket
pretty cool
quilt.
stuff. I'm really curious about this thing, what this
Does it say
is.
what it is in the description?
Let's see. I don't think so. A hanging pennant, a folding case.
Hmm.
Oh, this is a pennant up here, this thing. It's a pennant. Maybe that is too. Hmm.
Man, you missed out,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Sure did. Um, hmm. $50 Tide Crazy quilt.
Anything on
A
the
lot of
last page?
lace. Pictures. Lots and lots of pictures. Ooh,
Oh,
what's this?
look.
Small quilting frame that did not sell and a quilting frame for $50. This one's pretty neat looking.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at that in detail.
That looks like one of the ones we'd see out in the front lawn
Mm-hmm.
with a bunch of ladies sitting around it.
Yep. Oh, look, it's got a
Hmm,
metal
gear.
gear. I keep
Lot
forgetting.
passed, and the starting bid was $50. Now, do you think since the lot was passed, when they offer, if they offer it up again, do you think it'll start lower than 50?
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think the challenge with these things though is they are you have to have a local buyer because you can't
Oh
ship
yeah,
that.
it's so
You'd have
cumbersome.
to arrange, yeah, you'd have to arrange like some kind of special shipment. I mean, UPS can do it, but it's pricey.
Oh yeah,
And
you'd have to ship it like freight.
mhm. So, and I mean, you and I saw quilt rails at an antique store when we were, I think, in Adamstown, and we were just looking at them, and you were like, "Well, that's pretty cool. They only want like, oh no, I know what it was. There was one of them in an auction." And
No,
then
we
we
did
looked
we
at
did
it.
also see them
And
in an antique store. It was
yes,
after we saw
but
them in an
but
auction.
the conversation was like, okay, we saw that go for like $10 at an auction. How would I have gotten that back to Massachusetts had I splurged that $10? But it doesn't surprise me that somebody passed on that just because like
Hmm.
it'd have to be a local buyer.
True.
Well, I guess all the links to these will be in the show notes, right?
Hmm.
So if you want to go in and window shop these items, oh, look at those. I can't stop
Oh
looking.
wow.
That was a pretty neat lot of just random, pretty old looking stuff.
Yeah, if anybody wants to go and look at all the things that Stephanie missed out on because she chose her family.
Oh, you know what? These are slippers. These are for slippers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's what that is. It's they're needlepoint slippers. So then you cut that out and then form it together into a shoe.
that's
It'd be
interesting.
lined, and then that's the back. Those
Hmm.
two pieces come together, and then that's like the top, the tongue that's like over your foot.
Hmm.
And then like this looks like it's maybe it's supposed to be something too. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's fun to window shop these things, you know?
Totally.
Um it is exciting to buy from them, especially if it's something that's really, really special that you've been looking for, or, you know, just happen upon. I'm like, I gotta have that. But I just like to window shop them because I learn a lot by looking at this stuff. And, you know, Dana's notes are always really good. And they kind of confirm, like I look at the quilt and then I can look at her notes and say, like, confirm that what I knew was correct. But, you know, the notes are not always helpful depending on who the auctioneer is. But just looking
Hmm.
at the things, and you know that they generally have the correct date range, usually. So you get at least that much. So,
Yeah. No, like I said, that day was so mind-boggling as to, things that were selling well, things that weren't selling well. There's definitely, I feel like, a shift going on right now in the market for quilts.
mhm.
Everyone, our friends that have been around and doing this for, a minute, kind of talk about what the buying experience and the selling experience was like in the 90s and
Mhm.
like the early 2000s, and it's definitely not like that right now.
It's not. And yeah, I mean, I guess collectors now, I mean, you and I definitely see some people that have, you know, they have the income, the disposable income to be able to collect kind of at that high level. Um, and then, you know, there's the people who just collect quilts or buy quilts because they love them so much.
Hmm.
You know, and it's usually like those are as in my case, those are the low, like the low end quilts. And I mean, there's just such a range today, but it's definitely, I mean, my mom was like, oh my gosh, in the 80s, it was insane like what the price of some of these quilts would go for. And today you definitely don't see that unless they're like a museum quality, for, $25,000 and up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with them over the next, couple of decades. Will
Hmm.
we see another splurge at some point? Will things drop down further? Are we just kind of like settling out at a mid-range? Yeah.
Well, and the other thing to think about is, because there's this, well, I don't think it's really a hypothesis, but it's like this third wave of quilting that
Mhm.
kind of with the Modern Quilt Guild and this third wave of quilting, and it's like I'm not as in touch with it as I used to be. I do know that like economically, I think, they had the spike during the pandemic as people were bored and looking for hobbies, and then it's dropped. So I kind of even wonder like I mean, there's always going to be quilters. Quilting and fabric arts are not in any danger of going away, but um, I just wonder, are we in for maybe in a few years, like another spike for whatever reason? I don't know. 2009 was like what we would call the third wave, and that's been a while, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
I
So it's
mean, yeah,
interesting.
we're coming up on like 15 years, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And here's the other thing. I should not be saying this out loud to the internet, but if you have attended my stream, you know that I'm doing this bicentennial stuff. And right now, bicentennial stuff is affordable. I mean, it's on the vintage market because we're talking about 50 years. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
it's things cost what they cost. It's not like anybody's going like, oh my God, I need this bicentennial fabric and willing to pay $3,000 for it. It's very affordable, but I'm thinking, I'm snapping up what I can because I feel like that era is going to be more interesting to people in a couple decades.
Hmm.
It's not super interesting to people right now. And it's funny because I've talked to now a number of quilters. I have not yet talked to anybody that worked on a bicentennial quilt. So I'm putting it out there. I've said it on my stream. I'll say it on this one. Anybody out there, if you've worked on a bicentennial quilt or you know somebody that did, let me know. I would love to talk to them, recollections, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, the people that I've talked to that were quilters during that period are just like, eh, you know, it's just history to me. It's it's just my own history. It's not it happened while I was alive. It's not that long ago. And I'm like, well, it was 50 years ago.
Kate just said couldn't find any books today.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You said you were going to take a look.
Okay. What was going on today?
Yeah. She was going to, it was your guild's library you're going to look in, I think. She was looking to see if, because I have been able to get two of the documentation books.
Mhm. Oh.
And I can't, I mean, you and I have talked multiple times over the last week, but I can't remember if I really told you much about them.
Hmm.
I did talk about them on the stream yesterday, and they are chock full of the information we always want on quilts. So, what is this block about? What is this quilt about? And who made it? And who are they? It's all in there. And like, you know, they did like so much right about these quilts.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
and yes, Kate, I was thinking about that. That's the sesquicentennial. I can't remember what 250 years is.
I am
Sesquicentennial.
not the person to ask.
Well, I actually participated in a 250th anniversary thing for a little town that's near me. I made a quilt. I was accepted and displayed my quilt. And it was whatever they called it. I can't remember. It was like a really difficult word to say. And it was like sesquis there. I don't know.
Sure.
Anywho, yes. Would it not be cool to do a 250 years project?
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well then,
Well,
I guess this is the time to wrap up. If you didn't stop by in the beginning, you joined us later. Remember that next Tuesday will be our first discussion with our new book. And you're reading the preface through page 31 because the first chapter is hefty. So we're going to break that up. It's going to take us about 6 weeks to finish that book.
Yeah.
So
And just a reminder, it is To Honor and Comfort Native Quilting Traditions is the book title. And Jill's got the links and all that stuff
yeah, if you
available.
didn't grab a copy, you can still grab a copy. We're going to be sitting with this book for a while.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for saying hi, Dee Marie. We sure miss
Yeah.
chatting with you. And
Yeah, for sure.
otherwise, look for the updated versions of the calendar because we just tweaked a couple of things. And we're going to do a dual stream here on Thursday the 10th. So that's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern because it's a dual stream with Stephanie's regular time. And we're going to look, hey, you're here, so you've seen it too. We're going to look at an unboxing of needlework items that I got right before we went to seminar. And it was quite a lot. It was hysterical. There's a really funny story about because Kate was actually semi with me when I bought them. So there's a funny story about showing them to her. I think it's really funny, but you may not. I don't know. It's just a little thing. Some things are funny. Anywho, on that odd note, so we're gonna do that, and then Stephanie will be reading from her Lady Goat book.
Yes, the plan is to do a kind of a half and half show. We'll see. I know you've got a lot to unbox to show off, and so we'll see. But yes, it's a chapter that I'm very interested in getting to because it's about the railroad.
All right. Well, then come back and see us for that on Thursday at 2 p.m. And then next week we travel. Whoo! Things going on. All
right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you soon.
Bye.